like, what even is this? Who am I? Where am I? How long has it been? Like, what even is this platform? YouTube? Hello? What? It's Corie. Welcome to my channel. It goes unsaid. It's been a minute. The reason I am here today is that I'm on a really significant journey right now, and I was just sitting down with my journal, and I'll get to that in a minute, but the phase I'm at in my life is so full of uncertainty. I've like almost given that uncertainty all my power. It's as though I have gone even further than just surrendering and accepting, and I'm almost in like this, I don't have any control. I've been feeling like I'm in this state of being stuck, being frozen. If you've been around, you will know that I am a Canadian and I have married an American. My husband, Brian, and I are on the pursuit to live together. And what that actually means is that I have applied to move to the US. We started my visa application process at the beginning of 2023. So we got married at the end of 2022. And as soon as we got our marriage license in the mail, I was able to apply. So we are now at April 2024. I'm still living in Canada, and there is still no true indication as to when I will be able to move. What I'm really noticing is that I've had such a mental block when it comes to just living my life within that structure, like not only planning for the future with Brian in Washington, in our lives together, but also like making sense of this time. I've had to really remind myself that like, I'm not just sitting around and waiting. I'm still living. There's still life to live. There are a few salient updates that I do want to offer. So one is that I have moved. So I'm in a new apartment, and this was a recent thing. It just as of April 1st, I moved. This was a step towards downsizing, paying less rent, towards the goal of moving. So it did feel like an actionable step to take towards that bigger goal. So far, so good. Again, I have no idea how long I will be here. The other update that I feel really excited about that is kind of creating like purpose in my life right now is I've started a podcast, the People Pleaser podcast. And currently it is on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It's just been a really rewarding, creative process. Back to my journaling today, I was really just reflecting on like, what is this life of mine? How am I continuing to find purpose and meaning? How am I utilizing this one precious life? And what do I want to be able to look back on and be like, yeah, like, yes, that was a weird time. Yes, there was a lot going on. Yes, I felt a sense of powerlessness over the application, my immigration process, but like, that can't be it. There has to be more. And there is more, like I just said. Another kind of exciting thing is that I started therapy. Every week, I'm like getting so much out of it. I go in with not even thinking that there's much to talk about, and I'm just like, oh my God, like literal. So with all that said, I kind of had the idea last night when I was talking to Brian on the phone. Was I suggested he write a mind map, because he is struggling to kind of keep himself on track and accountable with certain things that he wants to accomplish. And I thought, you know what, I should do a mind map. And then I thought, well, what if I did like a 2, 5, and 10-year plan? The reality is that all I'm thinking about is moving to Washington. That's where all my goals, visions, hopes, dreams end? A, that could happen this year, and then what? And B, like, well, maybe not B, but like, I just want more than that, right? I've had such a mental block because I think there's been a lot of fear and anxiety around this move and like the uncertainty of it all. I haven't wanted to get like ahead of myself or get my hopes up because also like there's no guarantee. And I just am really wanting to break out of that fear. I'm viewing it from a really like fear-based mentality. So by building this like 2, 5, and 10-year plan, my hope is to like really begin cultivating goals, action. What can I begin now, or what can I have in mind to then build for that future, build for that tomorrow? What can I kind of put away on the shelf and be like, okay, that is not like a 2-year plan. That's more of like a 10-year plan. So I don't need to have it maybe like spinning around and around in my brain. So I just wanted to share with you, I haven't actually done the like timeline yet. I just decided I wanted to start with a brainstorm, and I will likely add more to this, but I started by just creating some categories, and the categories I came up with today were education, career, family, experiences, money, creative, and health. For education, I wrote pursue a master's or certificate program. I keep coming back to the idea of higher education. I have a undergraduate degree, a bachelor's degree in child and youth care, and I've very often thought that I would want to pursue a master's in social work, clinical counseling, or maybe more of like a certificate program in coaching, like executive coaching. I'd also like to do my yoga teacher training. That's just always something that's been like a bucket list item. In terms of my career, right now I'm really feeling this podcast, and I want to know if there's like a way that I can continue to grow and build that platform and eventually monetize. Same goes for YouTube, but like, I'm just like so inconsistent here. So I'd like to build a private practice. So whether that's counseling or coaching, and with that, I just also wrote like building this intentional clientele. The reason I say that is that right now I am a counselor for a nonprofit organization, but I don't have any say in who my clients are. And I was speaking to my therapist about it, and like she doesn't take any clients who don't have full autonomy over being in counseling, meaning that she's only working with people who want help, who want to be doing. My husband just called and I hung up on him. Sorry, baby. Also, a part of that is like working for myself or working from home or being able to work in remote settings. That is kind of the next stage of my career that I'd like to, I'd like to position myself to be able to have that type of work-life balance and freedom. My next category is family. So, I am getting to the age where, my childbearing years are becoming narrower and narrower. So kind of getting clear on that decision as to whether or not Brian and I are going to have kids. Yeah, I don't know what that looks like yet. I don't know that either one of us are prepared to like make that decision, but part of me like doesn't want to just ride it out until we just can't. Like I don't know that I want that to be our reason. There is something in me that wants to be a little bit more intentional with that decision. And I don't really know what that looks like, because I don't know. That's a big one. Obviously, like moving to the United States to be with my husband, that's a huge goal. Also, like when I move, it will mean that both Brian and I are, away from our families. And so just creating like some real intention around like what we want our relationship with our families to be, and like how are we going to build in like regular communication, regular visits. Maybe that's like planning a little bit of an annual trip, creating more intention around family time and staying connected. my dad passed away in December, and so my brother and I have his house to, for lack of a better word, deal with. And what we hope to do is renovate it and rent it out. So I just have restore dad's house, and that will require, like, that will probably not start happening for another 2 years. So kind of like, that's something I know that I can kind of be like, okay, this is not right now, but this is probably going to be in the next 2 to 3 years. I'd like to get a dog. That's, you know, a member of the family that I would like to include. For experiences, it's a lot of trips that I'd like to take. So Brian and I have been talking about going to Southeast Asia. We have talked about, Brian like really wants to live on a sailboat or spend more time on a sailboat. I have not done any sailing at all, so I'd like to go on a sailing trip. I'd like to do more with my siblings. So I have 2 brothers and a sister, and now I have like sister and brothers-in-law. So just finding ways to continue to like stay connected, because we all are like, we're all over the place. So that kind of ties into family, but I would love to do things with them. I'd love to go to New York. I've never been to New York. I know Brian doesn't have any interest in going to New York, so I could see this being something I do on my own, or a girls trip, or maybe, you know, going with my sister. Like, it's kind of exciting to think of that. And also I'd like to go to Scandinavia, so specifically Norway, Sweden, and Finland, because I'd like to go on a little bit of a like family heritage journey, because that's where my maternal grandmother's side is all from. So just trying to reconnect with a bit of that ancestry. Money, I'd like to just continue to contribute regularly to my tax-free savings account and my retirement savings plan. But I'd also like to talk to a financial planner about like right now I'm just like putting money in, and it seems really like I've got a good routine to it, but I'm so unclear as to like where I'm going with it, how much I even need, like how long will I be contributing, like should I be adding more? Like I'm really just new to this, and so I think I'm feeling grounded and secure in kind of like this novice level of like, okay, I finally opened the accounts, they exist, I'm adding to them regularly, but now it's like finding more intention to that. Creative is, you know, continuing to grow my podcast and get comfortable with like regular creativity. One thing that I know about myself, and this YouTube channel is a testament, is that I can get like really fired up about something, and then I can kind of lose some confidence or lose some creative pull, and I haven't been too successful at like pushing through that. I can really lose my confidence quickly. So trying to just push through that, like find strategies to push through that, and to continue to just like reconnect and align with the purpose, my values, like what I'm hoping to get from it and what I'm hoping to give with it. When I do move to Washington, redecorate and renovate the home with Brian. So like I will be moving into Brian's home, making that a bit of a project together. Right now it's very much his space, so finding my place within that space, and I really get excited about just the possibilities. And reconnect with YouTube. And then for health, I want to keep running. I want to get my hormones checked. I've noticed certain things about me, and maybe just the age I'm at, where I'm like, I have no idea what's going on with my hormones. I want to start taking iron regularly. I want to limit my sugar and keep my blood sugar levels balanced. That kind of goes back to the hormone thing, which is something I want to get checked out. I just want to limit my dairy and gluten. Like, I know that is just what's best for me. I want to gain more confidence with lifting weights. I have just recently rejoined a gym, so yesterday was like a little bit of a win. I have only been at this gym for under a month, and I've only ever gone to like this one room, and it's kind of been like my safety zone, and I've been a little bit intimidated to like go into the other rooms. And yesterday I went into 2 other rooms, so that was exciting. And finally is maintain therapy. Those are like the categories. And now what I hope I can do is sort of begin to map out like, okay, what am I already kind of working on, and like what's the trajectory, the master's program, or anything related to the move, or like my dad's house. Those are like maybe not necessarily starting right now. So just trying to like give myself some mental space and awareness around like, what do I want to be working on right now, and where do I see it going, and yeah, and what's coming up, and like what can I get excited about, what can I begin preparing myself for. Maybe I'll find that like some of these things don't necessarily need to be on here. Like maybe with the iron, it's like I'll develop a bit of a routine with that, and then it won't necessarily have to be like a goal. Whereas like when you think about planning a trip, like say going to New York, it's like, okay, well, I do kind of need to plan around that. I need to start saving. I need to have the time off. I need to know who I'm going with, and really put some time and energy into like the plan. And I mean, it's really fun to have things to look forward to. So that is another piece of this, is like, oh, like how will I kind of, I want to find a way to kind of have this in a place that like I can continue to revisit. It's kind of fun to be back making a video. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Check out the podcast. I'll link all the info in the description so you can maybe peruse. All right, folks, thank you for being here, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.